Hi everyone, it's David from Automotive Press. I'm back from Africa on my vacation, and guess what? I'm surrounded by snow and winter conditions because we had a blast, a winter storm last night, more than a foot of snow, which is a lot for Vancouver. And this is a perfect time to test out the Nokian WRG5 tires that I have on our RAV4, which is like the perfect test bed for these tires because this is our everyday car. The snow just stopped right now, but it's very slippery, and some snow is beginning to melt, which means that the road condition is absolutely treacherous right now. So let me take out the WRG5 on the RAV4 and see how it performs, because I did promise to bring you some feedback about these tires on the winter conditions. And if you recall, last year I did a whole bunch of testing on the WRG4 tires, and they were already super good. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the WRG5, which is a replacement for WRG4, in terms of how they perform in the snow and how they perform in this kind of condition. Keep in mind that the WRG5 and also the G4s are all-weather tires, which means that they're actually not winter tires, but these are as close as you can get to winter tires without actually having winter tires. What do I mean by that? Well, they're more like winter tires with the all-weather capability that allows you to drive them in summertime, springtime, fall time, as opposed to many all-season tires, which are more like a three-season tires, and they just don't perform very well in wintertime. And even some of the all-weather tires that have come out from the competitors of Nokian, I don't believe are quite as good as Nokian, because these guys take winter conditions seriously, since the headquarters is obviously located in Northern Europe and they have lots of snow and icy conditions as well. So let's see how WRG5s perform in this condition, and I'll keep on talking as I continue to drive. So first I'm going to drive just behind my house here, which has about almost, I think, 15 inches of snow. It's a deep snow, very powdery snow, but it's beginning to melt. So we have conditions where you have snow and ice mixed together, and it's absolutely the worst condition for car to come out right now. So I have the WRG5 right now, and well, I'm just driving like a normal car. It's not hesitating, it's not sliding, it's not slipping. So I'm going to go up this hill here, which has multiple issues because there's some gravel underneath as well. So I'm going to step on the gas a little bit. And you know what? Like I said, even with a RAV4 not being a true off-roader, I'm able to drive up the hill with zero issue. It's not really sliding. So I'm going to step on the brake now and see how it performs. So the sound you hear is the ABS working, and wow, it stopped remarkably well considering the conditions underneath the car here. Obviously longer stopping distance than you would normally find in dry weather or just the wet weather, but still the car is under control. I'm turning right now, and yeah, it's just track straight, and these tires are really handling the condition very well. You can kind of see that the snow is melting and it's falling off the tree now. So you've got absolutely worst condition possible for any kind of car. And the RAV4 isn't a heavy car like you would find a normal truck. So sometimes, you know, you think that they would really struggle in this condition, but so far so good. Let me go up one more hill, and this time I'm gonna step on the gas pretty hard, turn at the same time and go up the hill and see how these tires perform. So I'm stepping on the gas, so sliding a little bit, but traction control working well too. And once again, it climbed up the hill with absolutely zero effort. It's just remarkable that I can take something like a RAV4, which is you know, kind of your ordinary compact SUV, put some WRG5 tires on them, and they perform like heavy duty truck with a true off-road tires. The capability is astonishing. In fact, what I'm going to do is right after this, I'm going to take my Land Cruiser, which has off-road tires, and I'm going to compare that to this one, because if the RAV4 with the Nokian tires perform as good as a Land Cruiser with a true off-road tires, well, then you've got a real proof that these tires are worth something, because you know, ordinarily all-weather tires shouldn't perform as good as off-road tires that have a truly aggressive tread on them. So I'm going to drive a little bit more here and switch over to the Land Cruiser. But let me just show you right now, as you can tell on the screen, it's winter wonderland. This is a lot of snow for Vancouver because we don't get much snow here throughout the year, maybe once or twice, and that's it. And this could be the first true snow, but could also be our last snow. Yeah, it's beautiful right now because of the snow-covered area, but it's also just not an ideal place for driving. So let me turn again. I'm gonna step on the gas even harder this time. Traction control working well, and look, I can just drive up the hill like nothing. I think these are remarkable tires, perhaps the best proof that if you really want the best tires for your vehicle, then don't bother looking at anything else. I've tried many different tires over the years, and I always come back to Nokian series because these tires perform just as good as true winter tires, dedicated winter tires, yet you can drive them all year round, and they have the same kind of a durability and same kind of feel as normal all-season tires. You're not really compromising anything, but that's one thing that people worry about, is that if you buy all-weather tires that are not quite dedicated winter tires, then are you truly getting the best of both worlds? Because maybe it's almost as good as winter tires, but not quite. Well, I'm actually going to say that these tires are just as good as winter tires at the same level. It does have the mountain peak symbol, and yet they are just as comfortable, smooth, and refined as normal season tires during the rest of the year when it's not snowing. So for the first time, you do have tires that are able to handle all seasons with no compromise. I don't think there are any compromises with the Nokian WRG5s. These are the best tires, period. If you live in a place like where I do, where you get occasional snow or occasional winter conditions, but most of the time it's not like that, well, just buy a set of these and forget about switching to winter and back and forth every year, because it is, you know what, just as good as winter tires, and yet it performs so well. So last drive right here, and I'm gonna go up the hill one more time really hard and kind of drive around. You take a look on the screen and see if you notice the car sliding at all, because you're not going to notice it. So let's step on the gas here. Super heavy snow right here, more than a foot. And yeah, it's also very comfortable, even though sometimes icy, snowy, compact snow condition give you a bit of a rough ride. But these Nokians are very comfortable and very refined, and like I said, I just keep on driving them. It's almost fun to drive. I hate to say that, because a lot of people do get stuck in snow in Vancouver because they don't have the right kind of tires. But with Nokians, I actually look forward to going out in snow because it's just so fun to drive around with these tires and be able to just drive normally without having to worry. Now, you always have to be careful when you're braking, because no matter how good the tires are, you can still slide if it's black ice underneath. But again, as I have shown you a couple of times, as I step on the brakes here, really, really good grip. WRG5s are definitely a little bit better than WRG4s. I think the G4s are already really good, but these ones are, I would say, 10% better all around in everything, in terms of performance, ride, comfort, refinement, and also in terms of how they handle the winter conditions. So definitely worth buying WRG5s over the WRG4s. Even if you have the WRG4s, it might be worth upgrading to WRG5s. Anyway, that's a quick summary on the WRG5s on the winter conditions. And let me switch to Land Cruiser, which has a Falken Wildpeak tires, which is a true off-road tires. And what I want to show you is that the Toyota RAV4 with the Nokian WRG5s are just as good and just as capable as a much heavier Land Cruiser with a true off-road tires. So let's hop in there and take a look. All right, so I've now hopped into my 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser, which would be a beast in any conditions normally, because this is a true off-roader. This car is equipped with Falken Wildpeak true off-road tires that were purchased as aftermarket, not the OEM tires that often come with these vehicles. This one is something I purchased separately because I wanted to be able to take Land Cruiser to real off-roading courses and do some fun stuff with it. And therefore, these ones have a really blocky tread, and they should do really well in snow. But at the same time, they're not winter tires. They do have the 3-peak mountain symbol, but they're not designed to be like a dedicated winter tires, and therefore they won't perform maybe as well as true winter tires, which means that it also might not perform as well as Nokian WRG5s, because as I said, those are almost like winter tires. So let's try them out. So I'm going up the same hill behind my house, and again, Land Cruiser, it's a beast anyway to begin with. Yeah, so far it feels exactly the same. Of course, the ride is a little bit better in the RAV4 because WRG5s would be more comfortable than these ones. This one is pretty rock solid tires, but they're not as comfortable on the street. And again, I'm gonna see if I can drive this up the hill a little bit fast and see if I can make it slide or not. A bunch of people playing here, so I have to be careful here. But anyways, let's step on the gas a little bit, watching for people. And yeah, once again, these are really, really good. Land Cruiser is heavy to begin with, so I expect that to be helpful as well. Yeah, I don't see any difference at all between this and the RAV4 with WRG5. Let me step on the, okay, now I'm sliding a little bit more. So maybe because of the weight of the Land Cruiser, and maybe because these tires don't have as many sipes as the WRG5s, you know, it's maybe not quite as good in kind of icy conditions. So right now it's very icy right now, and I can feel the tires sliding actually. And if I step on the brake, yeah, it slides a bit as well. So let me go down the hill here. But see, I'm sliding a little bit already. So I think my conclusion is actually that the Nokian WRG5s with the RAV4 is an unbeatable match, even though the Land Cruiser should be better in this kind of condition because it's a true off-roader designed to handle conditions like this. And Falken Wildpeak tires are also really well known for being able to handle some tough conditions. It's no match for something like WRG5s, which has proper sipes, and therefore they perform more like a winter tires. And it's a good proof to me that I have to be careful with these tires. Even though they might be really good in some serious off-roading conditions, they're not as good as something like a Nokian WRG5 or maybe any other dedicated winter tires, because you know these do have 3-peak mountain symbol on them, so they're supposed to be good for all weather, but I think they're just not quite the same as tires designed for snow. And WRG5s, along with maybe many other dedicated winter tires, are really good because they've got fine sipes, and that really allows them to grip on the icy conditions. And of course, there's nothing wrong with these tires that I'm driving right now, but can't quite compare it to Nokians, I think. So if you were to ask me which car I would take out right now to run the errands that will provide me with the safest driving situation, well, actually it's going to be the RAV4 with the Nokian WRG5s compared to Land Cruiser with Wildpeak tires. So that's the conclusion, even though the difference is small. But it's really good to be able to test them both back to back and see how they perform. And it's kind of really fun to be able to test them out both. Anyway, I hope you learned something about tires. If you want to buy all-weather tires that truly perform like winter tires in the winter and perform like a normal tire in the rest of the year, don't bother looking anything else. Nokian WRG5s, take my word for it. I've been driving these tires for many years, all the previous generations of it, and I stand by them. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up, make some comments, and until next video, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.